Aloha. I am actually awake early for once and not from just staying up all night. I went to bed early, like 7 p.m. by mistake, just for a nap, and then I ended up sleeping until like 2 a.m. or something along those lines. There's a cat on my bed, and there's another cat just walking along my desk. She might join us later. Snowy, what you doing? Um, yeah, no, I woke up and then I went for a run at 6:30 in the morning. Like what? What is this? Is this a boy or a man or a man boy or boy man? I don't know. Chapter 17. The reader may rest, satisfied that Tom's and Huck's windfall made a mighty stir in the poor little village of St. Petersburg. So vast a sum, in actual cash, seemed next to incredible. It was talked about, gloated over, glorified, until the reason of many of the citizens tottered under the strain of the unhealthy excitement. Every haunted house in St. Petersburg and the neighboring villages was dissected plank by plank and ransacked for hidden treasure. And not by boys, by men. Pretty grave, unromantic men, too, some of them. Wherever Tom and Huck appeared, they were courted, admired, stared at. All their sayings were treasured and repeated. Everything they did seemed to be regarded as remarkable. Moreover, their past history was raked up and discovered to bear marks of conspicuous originality. The widow Douglas put Huck's money out at 6%, and Judge Thatcher did the same with Tom's at Aunt Polly's request. Each lad had an income now that was simply prodigious. $1 for every weekday of the half year and half on the Sundays. It was just what the minister got. No, it was what he was promised. He generally couldn't collect it. $1.25 a week would board, lodge, and school a boy in these old simple days, and clothe him and wash him too, for that matter. Judge Thatcher was Judge Thatcher had conceived a great opinion of Tom. He said that no commonplace boy would ever have got his daughter out of the cave. The judge hoped to see Tom a great lawyer or a great soldier someday, and said and he said he might and he said he meant to look to it that Tom should be admitted to the National Military Academy and afterward trained in the best law school in the country, in order that he might be ready for either career or both. When Becky told her father, in strict confidence, how Tom had taken her whipping at school, the judge was visibly moved, and when she pleaded grace for the mighty lie, which Tom had told in order to shift that whipping from her shoulders to his own, the judge said with a fine outburst that it was a noble, a generous, magnanimous lie. Huck Finn's wealth and the fact that he was now under the widow Douglas's protection introduced him into society. No, dragged him into it, hurled him into it, and his sufferings were almost more than he could bear. The widow's servants kept him clean and neat, combed and brushed. He had to eat with a knife and fork. He had to go to church. He had to talk so properly that speech was become insipid in his mouth. He bravely bore his miseries 3 weeks, and then one day turned up missing. For 48 hours, the widow hunted for him everywhere in great distress. The public were profoundly concerned. They searched high and low. Every third morning, Tom Sawyer wisely went poking among some old empty hogsheads down behind the abandoned slaughterhouse, and in one of them he found the refugee. Huck had slept there. He had just breakfasted upon some old stolen odds and ends of food, and was lying off, now, in comfort, with his pipe. He was unkempt, uncombed, and clad in his old ruin of rags. Tom routed him out, told him the trouble he had been causing, and urged him to go home. Huck's face took a melancholy cast. He said, "Don't talk about it, Tom. I've tried it, and it don't work. It ain't for me. The widow's good to me, and friendly, but I can't stand them ways. She makes me get up at the same time every morning. She makes me wash and wear them blamed clothes that just smothers me. I got to go to church, and I hate them orny sermons. I can't catch a fly in there. I can't chore, and I got to wear shoes all Sunday. Well, everybody does that way, Huck. Tom, it don't make no difference. I ain't everybody, and I can't stand it. It's awful to be tied up so. And grub comes too easy. I don't take no interest in victuals that way. I got to ask to go a fishing. I got to go. Got to ask to go in a swimming. Darned if I hadn't got to ask to do everything. I had to shove, Tom. And besides, that school's going to be open, and I'd. Hello, Snowy. You wanna just interrupt the live stream like that? Okay. Come on. I think she wants to go outside. I had to shove, Tom. Besides, that school's going to open, and I'd had to go to it. Well, I wouldn't stand that. Looky here, Tom. Being rich ain't what it's cracked up to be. It's just worry, and sweat, and a wishing you was dead all the time. Now these clothes suit me, and this barrel suits me, and I ain't ever gonna shake 'em anymore. Tom, I wouldn't ever go into all this trouble if it hadn't been for that money. Now you just take my share of it along with your and give me a 10 center sometimes. Not many times because I don't give a darn for a thing that it's tolerable hard to get, and you go and beg off for me with the witter. Oh, Huck, you know I can't do that. Tain't fair. And besides, if you'll try this thing just a while longer, you'll come to like it. Like it? Yes. Though I'd like a hot stove if I was to sit on it long enough. No, Tom, I won't be rich. And I won't live in them cursed smothery houses. I like the woods and the river and hogsheads. Blam it all! Just as we got guns, a cave, and all just fixed to rob. Here, this darn foolishness has got to come up and spile it all. Tom saw his opportunity. Looky here, Huck. Being rich ain't gonna keep me back from turning robber. No? Oh, good lucks. Are you in Deadwood earnest, Tom? Just as dead earnest as I'm sitting here. But Huck, we can't let you into the gang if you ain't respectable, you know? Huck's joy was quenched. Can't let me in, Tom. Didn't you let me in? Let me go for a pirate? Yes, but that's different. A robber is more high tone than a pirate, as a general thing. Now, Tom, hain't you always been friendly to me? You wouldn't shut me out, would you, Tom? Huck, I wouldn't want to, and I don't want to. But what would people say? Why, they'd say, humph, Tom Sawyer's gang. Pretty low characters in it. Didn't mean you, Huck. Huck was silent, engaged in a mental struggle. Finally, he said, well, I'll go back to the widow for a month and see if I can come to stand it. And if you'll let me belong to the gang, Tom. All right, Huck, it's the whiz. Come along, and I'll ask the widow to lad up on you a little. Will you, Tom? That's good. If you'll let up on some of the roughest things, I'll cuss private and crowd through or bust. When you going to start the gang? Oh, right off. We'll get the boys together and have the initiation tonight, maybe. What's that? It's to swear to stand by one another and never tell the gang secrets, even if you're chopped all to flinders, and kill anybody and all his family that hurts one of the gang. That's gay. That's mighty gay, Tom. I tell you. The end. Yeah. Um. Huh. Not that. Okay, that was kind of quick ending, but okay. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for coming on this journey. Will there be another Reading with Arun series? Who knows? We shall see. Bye bye. Thanks for tuning in, and see you maybe next time.